Composite restorations are the tooth colored restoration indicated for anterior and posterior teeth and all the aesthetic procedures. Important advantage of this material is its bonding, that is by micromechanical means. Now let's have a glance on tooth preparation. This is the conventional preparation on maxillary molar. Now for composite restoration, it need not to be conventional. It can be as conservative as possible depending upon the carier's involvement. All these cavo-surface margins should be kept at 90 degrees, similar to amalgam. But in contrast to amalgam, there is no need for dovetail. Let's start the restorative technique. This is an assembly for composite restoration. It consists of an etchant, that is 37% phosphoric acid, bonding agent. This is a one bottle system. It consists of both primer and adhesive resin. Composite resin tube available in various shades to match the tooth color. These are the mylar strips. These are used for contouring proximal restorations in anterior teeth. Finishing burrs. Once it is restored, it is finished and polished. This is the dispenser for the bonding agent. These are the special instruments. They all are Teflon coated, mainly used for doing the restoration. This is the curing light because the material is light cured. Okay, let's start the restorative technique. Yes, I want to emphasize on isolation because if you're doing clinically and if it gets contaminated by saliva, its bonding get affected. So when we are doing clinically, we must isolate either by cotton rolls or by rubber dam application. Let's start the restoration. Now the first step is application of an etchant. Once it is applied, we have to wait for 15 seconds. This etchant basically creates a microporous layer by selective dissolution of organic and inorganic matrix of the tooth. Then it is, once we wait for 15 seconds, it is followed by water rinsing. If the preparation is on enamel, we can dry it through air. If the preparation is also involving the dentine, then we must dry with a moist cotton pallet or absorbent points. Now we can see here, once it is etched, we can see the frosty appearance. Or chalky white appearance onto the surface. The next step is application of an bonding agent. It is dispensed applied with the applicator tip. This bonding agent will flow into the microporosities and it results in the formation of resin tag. As I have already mentioned, the bonding of the material is by micromechanical means. Now it is cured for 20 seconds. Yeah, I forgot to mention, before curing it needs to be air thin to evaporate the solvent. And then it is followed by light curing. We cure it for 20 seconds. Yes, now once the bonding agent is applied, next step is to restore the cavity. Now there are various ways to restore it. Polymerization shrinkage, it is one of the main disadvantages of this material, or the C factor. To reduce the C factor, we prefer building it by increments, that is of 1 to 2 millimeter. And there are various incremental techniques like horizontal, vertical, oblique, U-shape. But out of all these techniques, we prefer doing it by oblique manner. So we try not to place the increments onto the opposite walls. We build it by increments of around 1 to 2 millimeter. So now I am placing the increments so that it is placed in an oblique fashion. Opposite walls are not in contact, so that I am placing it onto the buckle and onto the distal wall, not contacting the palatal wall. Short of the cavo surface margins. Since the material is light cured, so we have ample time to contour it. Now we can see here the material is only onto the buckle and distal wall. Once this increment is done, the next layer will be placed onto the palatal wall and mesial wall. Once it is placed inside the cavity, then it is cured for 20 seconds. Keeping the light curing unit as closer as possible. Now the next increment is placed, which is placed onto the palatal and mesial wall. We are making sure the two opposite walls are not coming in contact with each other to reduce the C factor. Now once it is placed, then it is cured. Cured for 20 seconds. Now the next increment will be till the cavo surface margin. Slightly overfilling it. Now this is the layer where we can contour the cavity and can provide the favorable anatomy. And this is the beauty of the material, like it can be cured or it can be contoured according to the anatomy before it gets cured. Excess material can be removed. This can be finished even after curing also with the help of finishing burrs. Now we're trying to get the anatomy of the tooth by carving it. Then it is like here. Now we can see here it is contoured according to the anatomy and it is cured now. Once it is done, then we should check the cavo surface margins. This is the contoured restoration. Once it is restored, it is finished. Finishing should be always done under water coolant, slow pressure and slow speed, and should be preferred after 15 minutes because the maximum polymerization reaches only after 15 minutes. So now we'll wait for 1 minute and then we'll start the finishing. This is the finishing burr. They are available in various abrasives. These are the fine finishing burrs. Finishing strips, stones, cups, they are also available for finishing purpose. Should be always done under water coolant. Slow speed. Avoid dry finishing. This is the finished surface. Once the finishing is done, it has to be polished with the help of rubber cups.